What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. I try very hard not to bring religion into this channel for one reason. My father, very wise man, always told me that there's three arguments in life you'll never win: religion, politics, and everything else. That being said, it's bad enough we already talk about one of those things on this channel. I didn't want to bring religion in on top of it because that just makes two arguments we're never going to win. However, in this case, the Liberal government is threatening to tear down charitable status for churches. They want to make sure that not only are our churches set ablaze by arson, but they are also dismantled. And it's not just taking away charitable status, it goes deeper than that. In fact, this is a way of dismantling our churches, dismantling religion in this country. Now, I will not put on this channel where I stand on religion. I am not going to say whether I worship or what I follow or what lines people should go. That's for you to decide. I've always said there's a reason there's so many religions in this world. You find what works for you. You find what works best for you, and you respect others for their choices. In fact, that's one thing religion preaches is tolerance. The government has shown they're not going to tolerate it. And not only that, but they're going to pull you off the face of the earth. This is a big threat coming from the Liberal NDP coalition. I want to share it with you. Just want to remind everybody as we go in, if you haven't yet followed the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Join us in our large Fringe majority here. We're growing at a very quick rate. I'm very shocked at how fast this channel has been growing in the last couple of weeks leading up to the election. But this is going to be a key factor riding in since our election is on Monday. This is something that wasn't really disclosed or discussed. Garnet Jenis, who's been on the channel, bringing up this tweet. Wow, liberals and New Democrats are threatening to revoke the charitable status of religious organizations. This wouldn't just stop them from issuing tax receipts, it would also force them to give up all of their assets. Read the CRA website for details. I'll put a link to the CRA website in the description. We're not going to go over that today because there's two clips here we have to show. But let's show what Garnet has to say in his writing, what's happening, and what the Liberal NDP coalition plan to do should they take office as of Monday.
Hi folks, Carney Liberals here. I want to share something important with you about the charitable status issue that we're discussing in this election. So charities rely on charitable status to be able to issue tax receipts to their donors. It helps them do important work in the community. But in this election, Liberals and New Democrats are threatening the charitable status of churches and other houses of worship, mosques, synagogues, temples, gurdwaras, etc. This follows a Finance Committee report which recommended effectively removing charitable status from houses of worship. And recently, the Liberal and NDP candidates in my constituency of Sherwood Park and Fort Saskatchewan said very clearly on the record that they supported those calls to remove charitable status from those institutions. But if charitable status were to be revoked from houses of worship, this would not just prevent them from issuing tax receipts going forward. I checked the CRA website to make sure that this is correct, and I'll read you the language they used. Consequences of revocation. If your charitable registration is revoked, you, and then there's various bullet points, but one of them says, must transfer all your remaining assets to an eligible donee or pay revocation tax. So not only are you not able to issue tax receipts going forward, but if you're a charity and you lose charitable status, if you're a church and you lose your charitable status, or some other charity and you lose your charitable status, you actually have to transfer all of your remaining assets to another charitable organization or pay the government a revocation tax. And that revocation tax is 100% of your assets once you've paid off all debts.
So the government wants to shut down and destroy and tear apart churches. You either give it to another organization and you go poor, or you give it all to the government. I've always said taxation is theft, but this is beyond theft. You're stealing from religion. And again, I'm not advocating for one religion over another. This is all religion, all houses of worship. Now, Garnet makes a good point here when he talks about how churches affect the community, the work they do within their communities by charitable donations. You've seen people like Art Pulowski who go downtown in Calgary and feed the homeless weekly. They make sure that they're looked after. They help with certain services, with counseling, with places to stay, with uh, many multiple things. I'm not even going to get into all of the wonderful charitable things that churches have done and the community work that they do that is a benefit to everyone. It's not even about religion at this point. It's about government overstepping and believing by authoritarian rule that they have the right to essentially walk in and just take money from you at any given point, including religion. This is a huge misstep. And this is what we can look forward to if we see 4 more years of a Liberal government come Monday. Now, don't just take my word for it. Garnet Genis showed you, in case you missed it, here's the video where they admit their plans. Liberal NDP candidates freely admit they want to strip charitable status from all religious organizations. Let's take a look.
The Liberal and the NDP government suggested in January to take away charitable status from charitable organizations associated with religious groups or pro-life groups. Are you in favor of this? We'll start with Chris Jones.
Yes, I am. I am in favor of them having their charitable status revoked. I don't see why they are a charity. If they want to provide help to others, they can. The pro-life people, I completely disagree with. We need to be able to have a choice.
So I'm going to stop it right there because I don't want to get into these arguments. This is part of the reason where I said at the beginning of the video, religion, politics, and everything else. This person is basing his opinion about charitable status on one religion's view on pro-choice or pro-life. Major issue. Major issue. The government, here's the problem with government, and here's the problem where I see any of this in this video. The government's job, as Pierre Poilievre says he wants to do, he says he wants to govern, he doesn't want to tell people how to live their lives. And that's the best motion forward for any government. Their job is not to tell you how to live your life, it's to tell you how taxes are going to be paid, how your programs are going to be funded, how functioning society is going to work. They're there to pass policy. They're not there to govern and control over you. By bringing their personal feelings into things, this is a huge obstruction to freedom. It's a huge obstruction to democracy. Our country is slowly crumbling and turning into a dictatorship. And what's really funny about all of this is that you see groups like Dalian that say, hey, we build for more than 24 hours in a single day and expected the government to take that as fact. We see Justin Trudeau jet set around the world, taking handouts, scandal after scandal. We saw elitist style behavior, hundreds of thousands of dollars for flights where people were served alcohol and different high-end foods while people are suffering. They can't pay their bills. They can't find the ways to support their lifestyles or keep a roof over people's heads. Parents are skipping meals so that their children can eat. Meanwhile, these degenerates want to sit and say, we want to take away the charitable status of churches and take 100% of their assets. It's not just deeming out the charitable status. It's we want 100% of the assets. That belongs to the government so that we can continue to act elite. We can continue getting our benefits and the rest of the world suffers. And as a result, the churches, well, they'll close. They'll be torn down. This will be the end of community throughout our country. Very alarming, very concerning. Again, no matter what religion or any religion you stand with, this is the authoritarianism of our government on full display. And this is why it is so important that this Monday, if you haven't yet, you get out to vote, you make sure to get to that ballot box and cast your vote. People say, my vote doesn't matter. The election's called by the time it hits the Ontario-Manitoba border. That's false. Your vote matters more than anything else. And this is the election to show that you're willing to stand up for this country to remain a country. We've talked on other videos about how things are quickly folding in for Canada. This could be the end of Confederacy, and all on the profits of Mark Carney. We need to ensure that Canadians have the right to express themselves no matter whether you agree or disagree with them. We have to unite as a country. We have to show that we're standing up for change. If those who are offering change don't want to move forward with the promises they've made, that's a whole nother egg we're going to have to crack down the road. But for right now, The focus should be on getting rid of this dictatorship regime government that not only wants to silence you, freeze your bank accounts, tell you where you can and can't go, lock you in your homes, tell you what to put in your body, but now tells you what you can and can't worship by essentially ripping the assets out of the buildings from which you do it in. This is absurd. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If it's your first time here, again, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. It helps the channel immensely. Don't only hit the subscribe button, go and follow every Canadian political content provider on this platform that you watch regularly. Give them some support. They all need it. We all need it, especially if a Liberal government comes to fruition as of Monday. Speaking of Monday, join me here for live coverage of the election Monday night. We'll be sitting down, myself and Mrs. Fringe, to go over everything that's happening in the polls. We're going to watch and see if this country is going to see a blue wave as we think it's going to go, or if the country is essentially defeated, if the country is going to bow down to a totalitarian regime. Hit your bell for all notifications so that you're alerted anytime videos drop on this channel, or again, any channel you follow. These are the videos that the mainstream media won't cover. They want to make sure you're not getting this information. I wish this kind of information would have been more prevalent during the election leading up to, but again, getting it now is better than never getting it at all. Join me live tonight and every Friday night here on the channel for Friday Night Fringe, our live streaming show, where I sit down with Mrs. Fringe and we go over everything that goes on this week in politics, everything we know that's coming up ahead, as well as back and forth within the greatest YouTube community on this platform. I look forward to chatting with you outside of making these videos each and every week, but I most importantly look forward to chatting with you tonight and every Friday night starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.